conference from Hoover Police, Hoover, Alabama, Birmingham, Alabama Police, talking about new revelations in the 𝗙𝗂𝗋 Russell case. So this is a recording of the press conference, not live, so I will be pausing it to comment on it. So instead of, just doing a video where I summarize it, I'm just going to react to it. So I have not heard this yet, so let's dive in. Coming up here in just a second.
All right, good afternoon and welcome to the Frank and Pam Bearfield Training Center. I'm Captain 𝗙𝗹𝗵, that's spelled 𝗘𝗙𝗃𝗍𝗍𝗍𝗍𝗍𝗍𝗍, with the Hoover Police Department. Joining me at the podium today will be Hoover Mayor Frank 𝗏𝗏, spelled 𝗏𝗏𝗀𝐴𝐴𝐻, and Hoover Police Chief Nick 𝗏𝗏𝗁, spelled 𝗍𝒐𝒍𝒏. You may also hear from Lieutenant Daniel Lowe, spelled 𝗏𝒏𝒊𝒄𝒄, of the Hoover Police Investigations Division. Mayor 𝗏𝗏𝗀 will make a brief opening statement, and then Chief 𝗏𝗏𝗁 will read a prepared statement. After Chief's statement is complete, there will be an opportunity to ask a few questions regarding this investigation. Keep in mind that this is still an ongoing investigation, so there may be some questions that we cannot answer. With that, I will turn it over to Mayor 𝗏𝗏𝗀.
So bear in mind, this is still evidently an open investigation. They're not going to lay out the magical answer we're looking for, unfortunately.
Thank you and good afternoon for you all coming today. 6 days ago our community learned about the disappearance of 𝗙𝗪 Russell, and it sent fear and pandemonium not just through our city but the entire state and the nation as well. The media quickly joined us to get the word out about 𝗙𝗪. Our community sprung into action and they organized search parties, arranged prayer vigils, and they took other steps that I'm not even aware of to help in this situation. The Hoover Police.
So that is just how things work in Alabama and the South. When one of our own go missing, here the entire community joins in. I can name numerous instances here in Tennessee as well, and I grew up in Alabama, so I'm kind of partial to the state.
Quickly rallied multiple partner agencies, stopping at nothing to find 𝗙𝗪. I'd like to take this time to say thank you first to the Hoover Police Department, our partner agencies, our wonderful community, and to all those that aided in some way.
And this was not only Hoover Police, which is the local police, but Alabama State Troopers and the FBI. So there, as well as volunteers. As I said, thousands of volunteers went out to look, as well as almost $70,000 through private donations was raised to assist as well. So this case got lots of attention really quickly.
With this situation. As the days have gone on and more information has been shared, we know everyone has questions. The Hoover Police Department is known for being very methodical and thorough with their investigations. For that reason, we did not feel comfortable speaking in detail publicly until now.
I promise I'm going to let this finish, but I just want to let you know about when it comes to demographics. Birmingham is a majority African-American community, city, but you do have different areas of the city with different demographic makeups and different socioeconomic makeups. Hoover is one of those communities that is split. You have very, very upper middle class to rich, and then you also have certain segments of Hoover where it's pretty working class to poor. 𝗙𝗪 lived in the upper middle class area. You've seen pictures of their home. These were people that did quite well for themselves. Now, maybe class had something to do with it. I honestly don't think that it did, but just letting you know that she lived in a very nice area. The only area that would be more rich than her area would be Vestavia Hills, which is like the upper echelons of Birmingham.
It is important that we share this information now so that our community can be put at ease. So at this time, I'll turn the microphone over to Hoover Police Chief Nick 𝗙𝗪𝗫. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank everyone for being here today. Besides me stands the team who played a significant role in this investigation. I want to thank our department, members of surrounding local law enforcement agencies, the FBI, Secret Service, United States Marshals, and 𝗟𝗍𝗄 for their assistance in this case. We said from the evening of July 13th, our focus would be the safe return of 𝗙𝗂𝗄𝗏 Russell. That occurred on Saturday, July 15th, approximately 49 hours after she called 911 and disappeared. From that point, our focus has been to determine 𝗙𝗂𝗏's whereabouts during that time and what exactly took place. Let me say up front, this investigation is not over. We're still working this case, and we'll work in this case until we uncover every piece of evidence that helps us account for the 49 hours that 𝗙𝗂𝗏 Russell was missing. However, through the public interest, and in some cases, public fear, that this story has generated, we owe it to our citizens to tell them the facts that we have uncovered. So I will give you the facts that we know today. On July 13th, at approximately 8:20 p.m., 𝗙𝗂𝗏 left work from a business at the Summit. Surveillance video from her place of employment shows 𝗙𝗂𝗏 concealed a dark-colored bathrobe, a roll of toilet paper, and other items belonging to the business prior to her departure. She ordered food from 𝗙𝗍𝗍 at the Colonnade and traveled there. She then traveled to Target on 280, where she purchased some granola bars and Cheez-Its. From there, she remained in the parking lot at that shopping center until 9:21 p.m. when she drove to I-459. 𝗙𝗂𝗏 communicated on her cell phone with individuals known to her while on her path of travel up to the point of calling 911 at 9:34 p.m. And at this time, we will play the 911 call in its entirety.
Walking by themselves. Hold on. Where on 49 are you? I'm right next to the exit 10 by the Hoover Med, like to get off by the Hoover Med. Okay, so you're before that exit? Yes. Okay, were you headed southbound or northbound? I think towards Tuscaloosa or towards 280? Towards Tuscaloosa. Okay, and was the child on the left or right side? On the right side. Were they walking northbound or southbound? They're walking towards Tuscaloosa. Walking southbound? How old do they look? Like a toddler, maybe 3 or 4. Did you pull over with them? Are you still with them? Yes. Okay, are you with the child right now? No, I'm not. I didn't get out of the car. I can see them though. Do you mind staying and keeping an eye on them until we get there? Yeah. Yeah, sure, yeah. Okay, what kind of car are you in? I'm in a red Mercedes-Benz. Is it a sedan or SUV? SUV. I mean, it's a sedan. Sorry. Can you put your hazards on for me? Yeah, they're on. Okay. Did you talk to the child at all, or did you say anything to them? No. Okay. No. Do they look like they're injured? No, they don't. Are they white, black, Hispanic, or Asian? They're white. Okay. Is it male or female? I think it's a boy, a little boy. Right now? Okay, so is he wearing clothes? Yes.
Okay, real quick. Very interesting details there. So she left the day spa that she worked at the Summit at just after 8:30. It's Central Time. She took a bathrobe from there, which that's strange. She took a roll of toilet paper. Now, theft of product does happen, but with the income that her family has, I don't think she would need to steal a bathrobe or a roll of toilet paper for survival. So to me, this sounds more like she was planning to not be home that night. I mean, I don't know what was in her car, though they found her car, and then she went on to Target and bought Cheez-Its and granola bars, which I'm a fan of both those things, especially if it's the Quaker dips. But it's not enough food to sustain you for more than maybe a night or two. So, and then she ordered food from tzatziki's, which is Mediterranean food, Greek food. I believe she also got food for her mom, which was strange, but that could have also been a ploy. And then, yeah. So there's only two possible things. She was planning to go home and snack away and needed the toilet paper and the robe for some reason, or she was planning not to be home that night. Those are the two options that we have there. So let's continue. And then the fact, one of my subscribers, you know who you are, brought up the fact that how did she know it was a boy if the child had on a diaper and a t-shirt? And there's yet to be any proof that this child existed. So anyway.
White t-shirt, and it doesn't look like he has any pants on. It looks like a diaper. And you don't see any cars anywhere? No, no cars anywhere. Okay. All right. What's your name? My name is 𝗙𝗂𝗃 Russell. And you don't see any injuries on the child from where you're at, correct? No, but I can't really see them that good. Okay, try to keep an eye on them for the best that you can, because I don't want you to lose track of them. Okay. All right, and do they have shoes on? No. Shoes? Not that I can see. I can't really see that one. Okay. All right, I've got them on the way, okay? Just try to keep an eye on them, but the officers are on the way, okay? Okay, thanks. Thank you. Okay, bye.
𝗙𝗂𝗀 called a relative after speaking with the 911 operator. She went missing during that conversation sometime after 9:36 p.m. Traffic camera footage was obtained which depicted this portion of the incident, and that footage was analyzed as part of the investigation in conjunction with the 911 call and cell phone data to accurately determine the time frame. 𝗙𝗂𝗀's 911 call remains the only report of a child on the interstate, despite numerous vehicles passing through the area at that time. No one has called to report that a child is missing, and the Hoover Police Department did not locate any evidence of a small child walking down the interstate. Data from 𝗙𝗂𝗀's phone, including her Life 360 app, shows that she traveled approximately 600 yards in her vehicle while she was on the phone with 911, stating that she was following a child. 600 yards. That is 6 football fields straight. 600 yards. The Hoover 911 screamed, and then they had an open phone line. Hoover police officers arrived on the scene within 5 minutes of being dispatched, and several other officers arrived shortly. They located 𝗙𝗂𝗀's wig and cell phone in the grass near the vehicle. Her purse was located in the front seat of her vehicle with her Apple Watch in the purse. The food she ordered for tzatziki's was also in the car. The items she purchased from Target, as well as the items taken from her place of employment, were not in the vehicle, nor were they located anywhere around the scene. Hoover Police deployed all available assets from the point in the search for 𝗙𝗂𝗀. Additional resources were called in to include our own drone unit, crime scene investigators. Numerous detectives responded to the scene. Throughout the day Friday, officers from surrounding local and federal agencies assisted Hoover Police in the search for 𝗙𝗂𝗀 Russell. Officers returned to the scene on 459 to conduct a thorough line search for evidence. K-9 teams from the Jefferson County Sheriff's Department responded to check for any sign of 𝗙𝗂𝗀, the child that she claimed to see, and anything else that could be considered evidence in this case. Those searches all turned up empty. Private citizens, including search parties organized by her family, friends, began looking everywhere that they could to find any trace. These searches took place throughout the day Friday and again on Saturday, yielding nothing. At 10:44 p.m. on July 15th, the Hoover 911 center receives a call from 𝗙𝗂𝗀's residence stating that she returned home on foot. In subsequent investigations, detectives obtained surveillance footage of 𝗙𝗂𝗀 walking down the sidewalk alone prior to arrival at her residence. She was constant.
As I said, this is a very upper middle class neighborhood, so there's CCTV cameras everywhere for security. So they were probably able to follow her as soon as she got into that neighborhood.
From her prior to being treated and released. During the statement, she told detectives that while traveling down the interstate, she saw a baby walking down the side of the road and called 911. She stated when she got out of her vehicle to check on the child, a man came out of the trees and mumbled that he was checking on the baby. She claimed that the man then picked her up and she screamed. She stated he then made her go over a fence. She claims he then forced her into a car, and the next thing she remembers is being in the trailer of an 18-wheeler. She stated that the male was with a female. However, she never saw the female, only hearing her voice. She also told detectives she could hear a baby crying. She told detectives the male had orange hair with a big bald spot on the back. She said she was able to escape the 18-wheeler and fled on foot, only to be captured again and then was put in a car. She claimed she was then blindfolded but was not tied up because the captor said they did not want to leave impressions on her wrists. She said that they took her into a house and made her get undressed. She believes they took pictures of her, but she does not remember them having any physical or sexual contact. She stated the next day she woke up and was fed cheese crackers by the female. She said the woman also played with her hair, but could not remember anything else. At some point, she was put back in a vehicle.
Okay. And she never saw the female? And the female was feeding her own Cheez-Its? So I'm sorry. So they went back to her car and left the tzatziki's food, but got the Cheez-Its and I assume the granola bars, since they weren't found, the toilet paper and the robe, and took her over a fence, put her in the rear of an 18-wheeler, woke her up in a house, and fed her the Cheez-Its. Okay.
West Hoover area. She told detectives she ran through lots of woods. She came out near her residence. During this interview, detectives noted that 𝗙lie had a small injury to her lip, and she claimed that her head was hurting. She also had a tear in her shirt. Detectives also noted that she had $107 cash in her right sock. Out of respect for 𝗙lie and her family, detectives did not press for additional information in this interview and made plans to speak with her in detail after giving her time to rest. Detectives continue analyzing data from 𝗙lie's cell phone that was left behind at the scene. We enlisted the help of the United States Secret Service in conducting this analysis. Part of what data included several internet searches in the days leading up to their disappearance that I think are very relevant to this case. On July 11th at 7:30 a.m., the term, "Do you have to pay for an Amber Alert?" was searched. On July 13th at 1:03 a.m., the day of her disappearance, the term, "How to take money from a register without being caught," was searched. On July 13th at 2:13 a.m., the day of her disappearance, the term Birmingham bus station was searched. On July 13th, 2:35 a.m., a search for a one-way bus ticket from Birmingham to Nashville was conducted with a departure date of July 13th. On July 13th at 12:10 p.m., a search for the movie Taken, a film about abduction, was conducted. There were two searches related to Amber Alerts on a computer at 𝗙lie's place of employment, including one regarding the maximum age of an Amber Alert. There were other searches on 𝗙lie's phone that appeared to shed some light on her mindset, but out of respect for her privacy, we will not be releasing the content of those searches at this time. We've asked to interview 𝗙lie a second time, but have not been granted that request. As you can see, there are many questions left to be answered, but only 𝗙lie can provide those answers. What we can say is that we've been unable to verify most of 𝗙lie's initial statement made to investigators, and we have no reason to believe that there is a threat to the public safety related to this particular case. Thank you very much.
Okay, guys, I'm not gonna listen anymore. It's just going to be recorded questions. You can definitely find this on YouTube if you want to watch it all in its entirety. But, yeah, she made that up. I wasn't going to say it before because I was trying to be kind, as I didn't know. But, yeah, this is a hoax. This is a hoax. There will never be an abductor found because there was no abductor. There was not a child missing. Evidently, she was either looking for details of a child that was missing on an Amber Alert to use, or she was just seeing the procedure for an Amber Alert, or do she have to pay for an Amber Alert? The fact that there was cash in her pocket, and then she Googled how to steal cash from a register. They haven't reported any cash missing from her employer, though that's a day spot. It's probably mostly credit card, debit card anyway. But the fact she had that cash and was evidently trying to get here to my home area of Nashville, which would be about a 3-hour bus drive, 3.5. Yeah, she was trying to get to someone and evidently got thwarted and went home. Now, whether this represents a mental break in her, I don't know. I was trying to be kind and think maybe she had a mental episode. Maybe she imagined this and then just got disoriented and lost. But this is going to be a hell of a hallucination. So I'm leaning toward hoax. When they said orange hair, I almost laughed. I thought, okay, is it going to be Trump screaming, "This is MAGA country"? Going back to 𝗙𝗪𝗓𝗍. Yeah, this is a hoax. And all that remains is why and what her motivations were. So I'm not saying she didn't have some sort of mental break that led to this, or thinking maybe she had to do this. It'll be interesting to find out. And if that is the case, I'll ask for, hope for mercy for her. But right now, it's not looking too good. What do you think? Let me know your opinions down below. I will continue to bring you details as this case unfolds. And until next time, keep on crying.